Hey guys, Krusty Old Crow here with a Tactical Perspective hot mic, the first one of 2024. And look at this, I'm all decked out like one of our favorite Joes in my Lowlight attire. Yeah, that's right, I'm dressed up like Lowlight with a G.I. Joe sweater because he has one. Trust me, it's under his Night Force outfit. Yeah, I figured that would be a good way to just say thank you to all you subscribers. Just, getting a little crazy today. I'm not the crusty old crow, I'm the crazy old crow today because I get to lay down the ground rules for this. Our 200 contest, we're actually at 201. It happened while I was getting this slideshow ready. So that's awesome. Thanks very much, you guys. So we're going to do the whole giveaway. Cobra Officer number 97 here. Let's see if I can grab them without anybody falling. 2 shots if they fall. There we go. I'm going to lay down the ground rules a little bit later in this video on how you're going to enter to win this, if this is a figure that you want. It will be my very first contest, guys, so bear with me. There'll be a couple of rules we'll have to follow, and I'll ask for forgiveness for putting rules on things that I'm just doing for fun, but it's more so that I can be effective, right? I want to be effective for you, so we'll talk about that. But thanks again for helping us reach 200, and I'm already getting plans on, I've got that 350 contest down the horizon, but I got a couple in between figure giveaway contests I'm going to do along that way, because like I said, I really appreciate it, and I love what I'm doing, and I love the community I'm becoming a part of, so thanks very much. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to give you a little backstory on our friend Lowlight that maybe Joe hasn't covered. I think it would be a really good little sub-series and that anthology idea I have in my head I'll talk about later, but a little bit about Coop. We're going to talk a little bit about one thing that shows up on his file card that always made me go, and it's this. As a child in North Dakota, Lowlight was afraid of the dark, timid with animals, and shy of loud noises. Until one precarious hunting expedition with his father, Lowlight somehow lost his way in the impenetrable darkness, and he was found 3 weeks later with his flashlight, a .22 rifle, and a grin from ear to ear. 10 years later, he was an instructor at Army marksmanship program at Fort Benning and self-taught expert on image intensification. I'm going to tell you what happened when he was lost in the woods and why he became so fortunate and tormented after, because clearly I've always felt that what I had in common with Lowlight was, if you look at his face, he's got them dark pitted eyes, and I have been accused of having dark wrinkly pitted eyes, and I am not the 1,000-yard stare sniper that he is, even though he's a cartoon character. But I can relate to the sleepless look on your face all the time. So we're going to focus a little bit on what happened to make them that way. But what else are we going to talk about today? Because, I got to start this video. It's probably going to be a long one. And if you want to know how to win the contest, you're going to have to bear with us while we go through it. But I am going to talk about the contest, and I'm going to talk about some of the Crow's work. I've been working hard on my Cobra Crimson Guard base, whatever, display for all my Cobra figures, so I can free up some shelf space for future Joe figures and future conversions. I'm also working on a Cobra Siege Crawler, and I'm sacrificing figures left and right. I'm doing them in my Crimson Guard Immortal, which I'm making out of another 40K artist proof blank. What else? I'm doing them for Joe. I'm working on that Joe Hovercraft. I'm working on a Red Devil company, which would be like Joe's Tiger Force. It's going to be a mix of Joe's and my own character, just for fun. My own characters, I should say, and mixes of my variants on Joe's. But we'll have a helicopter thrown in there, and then I'm going to sacrifice some figs. And you guys have already seen that I've done Bull right here. Where's Bull? Bull is to my left, right there. We've done Bull, and this shot's important that we see that. So pay attention to the things you see in the background. They're going to come up later. But I've also got a fig set aside for Cutter, which I'm underway. It's going to be a shorter Cutter. It's made from a Star Wars Merrick figure, so he's almost a full inch shorter, but he looks like short guys, and I've worked with guys that are like under 5'2". You can notice the difference. I think it's excusable. But I'm going to be doing something to try and do my variant on Cutter, and I've already started work on my Zap figure. You guys have seen that if you've been watching. I've got a figure on the go where I'm going to do a variant on Zap for my RDC. And I'm also going to turn a grunt eventually into a short fuse for shits and giggles. And especially once I see extra kit that I have available, because short fuse is a very interesting, he's one of the original, the 82, you know how I feel about them, and until they get a classified or a retro doing of him, yeah, I'm just gonna make my own, jam it, just like I'm doing with Zap. Just placeholders for my collection, if you would. And I get to do them my Canadian way for my Red Devil company. Anyways, you'll see that I'll be looking for some parts to throw on him, and I can scratch build some things, but I prefer to get the parts at parts. And it brings me to, you guys have heard me mention Loki Wartooth a few times, and how eager I am for the parts, guys. What you're not hearing me mention, right? And you know, I'm just gonna keep it down. Is you know, Loki Wartooth's he is busy with good reasons to be busy, right? And I can relate to a lot of them. And the cancer has touched his family, and he's dedicating a lot of his time and resources to that fight. So I'm going to be patient as I can be. Well, I keep doing my conversions. I know that he's got some parts on the way, but I also know what he's up against. This has also hit my home very devastatingly in my past, and with somebody I love very dearly, so I can relate to exactly what you're going through, my friend. And that's my attitude towards that. But I do appreciate the fact that I do know those parts are on their way, and you're going to help me accomplish things like this and other projects I have on the go. I'm sure of that, buddy. I know. All right, but please wish him the best of luck on this fight, and check out his stuff and everything you do to support him. You know, he's a very appreciative, good Christian guy with and he's very much like all of us, right? So read up on him, Model Misfits 1138, and we'll move on. So Crow, what are we looking forward to? We're looking forward to the retro line coming out next. I'm gonna get a natural proper Recondo, non the Tiger Force, and I know I'm gonna finally get a good Scarlet, which means what will happen to my Snake Eyes Origin Scarlet will be yet to be determined as I keep doing more conversions. Fun. That Techno Viper is going to be apparently a hot grab. The pre-orders are up on Amazon. If you guys aren't with GameStop, go on Amazon. Definitely get the pre-orders in. Viper Island, I'm going to be talking about you a couple times in this episode, but Viper Island reached out to me and definitely wanted to make sure that I made note that this thing is the one that probably is going to go like hotcakes. And it makes sense when you talk about Cobra and their army building and the Viper factor. They have Vipers for everything, so they do tend to go quick. And here in Canada, the Snow Viper, unobtainium again, and I'm so mad I missed out on that. But I won't be missing out on the Techno Viper. I do have my pre-orders in. GameStop here in Canada allowed us to put our pre-orders in with them a couple of months ago here in Ottawa. So I've had my pre-orders in on that entire wave as well as the retro. But I am looking forward to a Duke non-Tiger Force, and I didn't ever get the first original classified line version Duke. Can't find him, can't get him. He's the one I would go back for, not the Roadblock, perhaps not the Scarlet of that time, but definitely the Duke of that time. But failing that, I'm getting that, right? And hopefully soon the Beachhead solution will be there, same as Major Blood, all the others. But Scrap Iron, or not Scrap Iron, I keep calling them that, Metalhead. Metalhead is one that's going to be coming out of my pre-orders, I think, the soonest, and that's going to be to Airborne. And I didn't pre-order Big Boa, but it'll be to probably the Big Boa release, same as Quick Kick. Other ones I'm looking forward to. But he's also the gateway drug to the Iron Grenadiers, which you can see right now. I've got a tri services going here between the Python Patrol that I own, the number 97 of my own, the 97 I'm giving away in this contest I'm going to talk about today, and you guys will be entering on this post with comments. Okay. And then the Python Patrol Officer, you can't really see him, he's tucked away, but I've got them all divvied up into threes, and I will be buying threes of the Iron Grenadiers. Why threes? Threes make sense if you're wanting to just troop it a little bit, maybe do a little bit of photography, maybe just make the shelf look a little organized, uh, and they're excusable. Anything beyond that's also excusable, and anything under that is perfectly excusable. If it just depends on your collection. But for me, a set of threes always, I think, is the coolest way to get the army troop builders. Uh, and we're going to talk about that later. So I still have to get one more Python Patrol for myself. And I don't care if it's the officer or the variant. It's just to complete those threes. Pardon me while I deviate. But yeah, I am going to get the Iron Grenadiers. And I am looking forward to them coming. And they will probably be another high demand troop builder. And I'm going to talk about some things that we need to be prepared for. But first, let me tell you about this story about Lowlight and what happened when he was in the woods. See, what they don't tell you is Lowlight shot a leprechaun. Yep, flat out killed a leprechaun, man, back when he was 12. And he's had nothing but good luck. And I really gave him 5 wishes, right? When you catch a leprechaun, you get 3 wishes. When you flat out kill a leprechaun, it's 5. And Lowlight's first wish was to be such a great marksman and all this other stuff. But it's like a monkey's paw. There was always a detriment, right? Now he's got PTSD and sleep issues, and he's probably hopped up on some sleep meds, and who knows what other problems Lowlight has. I have no idea, but the dude still doesn't sleep. But Lowlight, this is how I see Lowlight using is he's got 4 more wishes, right? And it's not like that leprechaun didn't have it coming. He pulled a gun, so Lowlight had no choice, right? You know, he's just a 12-year-old kid lost in the woods, and there's a leprechaun with a freaking gun. What would you do, right? What would you do? So the leprechaun threat, and so we're going to talk about one of Lowlight's wishes right now, right? And this is based on some crow reading. Lowlight's wishes is that I wish Hasbro would learn, or Lowlight wishes that Hasbro learns from its past and achieves the success of their strategy. And I'm talking primarily, you had 3 strategies: toys, comics, and cartoon. Toys and comics are out there. The cartoon needs to come back, or some reasonable facsimile. Listen, Hollywood movies aren't really doing it for us. It's just not. Uh, Either bad writing and not bad cast, or bad cast and bad writing, or, however, they're all, you only take so much out of a G.I. Joe movie now. You really do. And I don't think that the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover series movies is going to be any different. So what do? You've heard me talk about it before. You got to go to Netflix. Netflix buys everything. They will make your series about how your cat poops. It doesn't matter. And I'm looking at my cat box. That's why I got a cat box right there. You always get a Netflix deal if you've got even a semi-decent property on your hand. Go to Netflix. But that frees you up to enter the Joe universe. And the way that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. freed it up for Marvel on TV to just grab, you had your core enemy, Hydra, and you had your core good guys, S.H.I.E.L.D. Same premise. And if you did it as a live action, here would be the demand that I would have as the crusty old crow and as Lowlight would see it. Guys, you got to approach it like these 2 shows. You got to approach it like a Tom Clancy building threat, suspenseful character build to show how where they fit into a modern world, not the Deke world or the original world where it was like Cobra was this threat only Joe could deal with and the rest of the world was entirely powerless. Is where do they fit in to the world power dynamic? We needed a series that explores why Joe even exists and how Cobra actually comes to be. And it can't just be some fanatical leader believing in some old snake premise god tied to time. That's too much like what Marvel and DC constantly do as jumping your sharks. Keep it relatable, keep it a modern take on the old story, step away, You're not bound by the comics. Walking Dead showed you that. AMC walked away from the comic direction at several points, but they still kept it very relevant and made, well, debatably good stories. So you approach it like that with some Tom Clancy suspense and some Jack Reacher approach, in that we learn maybe the necessity and the formation of the Joe team. I would think of them as a global intelligence team, and Joe would be the anonymous factored name, that code name for it. And we would learn about how they were formed just in backstory glimpses throughout a current running story character arc. Maybe it's Duke in the first season that we're focusing on going through some tumultuous whatever mission, and we're learning how he, 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 or 5, whatever, learned about the Joes and Cobra and joined. Something along those lines. Use those strategies. It's a good deal. You complete your trifecta strategy, right? The movies are going to be very limiting, and the movies are always a big gamble. And we saw that when Hasbro lost, what was it, $300 million of prospective revenue because of environmental packaging and commitment to movie lines that didn't succeed on the toy shelves. So now you know, and that's what I would like to see them, is learn something, Hasbro. You did learn something, yes. The second wish, okay? Recognize your good deals and your bad deals. Okay, you made a good deal. You could make a good deal with Netflix. You made good deals in the past with your animators and with Marvel Comics. Make another good deal. Get yourself a franchise on a network of some sort. Streaming service, pardon me. Network. Whatever. Change the channel. Clickety clickety click. Old man things, right? But recognize the bad deal and close it out. Pay them out. Finish it up. Change the approach. And what I'm talking about, guys, is availability for figures and what that's looking like these days, and what it's going to look like in the future as this line gets bigger and diversifies and grows, and products become more expensive. And I'm going to lose my low light appeal, and I'm going to put back my crow hat. Okay, this slideshow is going to get a little crazy. But let's have a look. Okay, they need to fix it. First, we go to Hasbro Pulse. Okay, Hasbro Pulse has everything they want to make, and they're right. They're the direct shipping. So anything I say about Hasbro Pulse is just saying, hey, you have the power to fix this, Hasbro. Only you, right? Because you own all the property. So you made this mess. You need to fix it. That's my attitude about the whole which Joe's, Cobras, what have you, are available at which stores or through which methods. You are sitting on a gold mine of revenue, and you are making it challenging to acquire some of it. So you need to stop this. At GameStop, let's have a look at what's available at GameStop as far as selection, right? Can they fix it with their selection? Absolutely not. They get Joe, they get Cobra, they get Dreadnoks, and then we move on. Okay, yeah, occasionally they'll get a tidbit treasure like the box sets that Hasbro Pulse allows out into the retail market, not PulseCon exclusives and things like that. They do have access to some of that stuff, but because of their online menu, that stuff's ordered up. You never see it on the shelf, and these are things that should be found in the wild. They really should be. You shouldn't just have to go online to find them, and there's various reasons why. Remember, where did you find them originally? What was the original strategy? You found them on TV, you found them in the comic shelf, and you found them on retail big box store shelves, and you hunted them all down. The only things that were special were mail order giveaways, like the mail order stuff, exclusives. This whole making convention exclusives and PulseCon exclusives and even HasLabs, this has all been within the last 28 years, probably, or well, probably longer than 20 years, but it's really hasn't really become the monster it is back when we started this. So Walmart, you can get Joe, you can get Cobra, you can get Dreadnoks, and online is the only place, Walmart online, is where you get the Night Force. You cannot get them anywhere else. I actually haven't checked to see if you can get them on Pulse. I imagine you can. It's Hasbro's company. Why wouldn't you be able to? But to get them from anywhere else, if you don't have a Pulse membership or aren't familiar with Pulse, this is it. You will not find Night Force in the wild. Why? Why did you make them so exclusive and then make them so good? And I'm including the Mole People, the Range Viper, and all that in there. Why? You're limiting your market, and there was a high demand for this. Look at how quickly those pre-orders went up. I'm so pissed. I effed up my wolf spider, I guess. I don't know if it was my F up or their F up, but it got effed up. And I don't know if I want to go back and deal with that to get this line, but I want that line. My God, they're good-looking figures. They are, regardless of whether they're repaints or what rehashes. I have a high opinion of them. Sorry, my light just went out right near the cat box. So Walmart. So Hasbro, just fix it. You know, finish off this contract with Walmart and and I'm not saying don't leave these contracts dry. There's other strategies you can do with these, and I'll talk about them. But Amazon, what do they get? They get Joe, they get Cobra, they get Crimson Guard, they get Tiger Force, they get Dreadnoks, whoops, and Python Patrol. Okay, and they also get some rare back stuff, but they're usually at an exorbitant price, shipped in from another country in Europe or Malaysia or one of the others. So you're looking at flight pods that are $300, and Dr. Mindbender going for $250, Major Blood going for $200, Beachhead, my grail, if you would, and thank God possibly a retro's coming out of them, because $150 average, same as Major Blood. So retros, ooh. But yeah, that's the problem with Amazon. So you go to Toys R Us, and I'm going to include Target with Toys R Us for those exclusives. So you get the Joe, you get the Cobra, you get the Tiger Force, you get the Python Patrol, but you don't get Night Force. So where are we going to see Destro and the Iron Grenadier show up is my question, right? So with these big box stores. So before I answer that, don't forget, guys, that whole like, share, comment, notification algorithm, it matters to the channel, and we are going to be talking about that contest and how to enter later in this video. But if you want to see more contests and more content and more creations and all that other crap I do, or just listen to an old veteran ramble, a tactical view on something, you can do that. Anyways, moving on. So how do you fix it? Okay, guys, trifecta packs, right? So yeah, I know down in the States, Ross had a big deal. Aaron, you nabbed a ton of these and were able to do giveaways and build a glorious army. And when you explained how that was achieved, I cheered for you so hard, brother. That was the best way to troop build, if you ask me. And if people are going to rant on you about any of that nonsense, they just lead a different life, and it's easy to bang a gavel when you haven't walked in a man's shoes at all. So screw them. But I think that was an opportunity for Hasbro to learn a few things, because I don't know what the actual facts and figures retailed on these as far as reception on the initial release versus over time, and right up to when they started showing up on Ross shelves in the States at a lower reduced price. But I'm wondering, why aren't we seeing more of these? We're seeing 2 packs of Valkyries, for God's sakes, and 2 packs of Steel Brigade or Steel Corps. So let's go 3 packs here. Let's talk 3 packs on bringing back, and this is where I'm saying the big box stores, this is what they should be limited to. If you like these, big box and everybody else should have an open retail market on all the figures, all the repaints, Tiger Force, Night Force, Python Patrol, everything like that. But these exclusive order-only places, pardon me, it should own. These 3 packs could be available to places like Amazon, or exclusive to a Target or or Toys R Us. Right? You can only get the 3 packs through them online, or if you go to their store specifically, right? But all other figures should just be common retail shelf, meaning it doesn't matter if you go to Walmart or Toys R Us or or Ross or Target or GameStop, you'll find all the regular retail figures and deluxes there. Same as the vehicles, and this is what I mean. This is how Hasbro can get back their a lot of revenue that they say they were going to lose over this movie market stuff by stopping these exclusive contracts or paying them out and starting over with them with these package deal sets. Because there's so much that could be done with them, right? But we're going to talk about Lowlight's other wish right now was for vehicles. Vehicles with riders specifically. We want to see Destro and his despoiler. I said that to Viper Island. If you're going to do Iron Grenadier Destro, then do the despoiler and give us another glorious set like this. But make this available. Don't make this some deluxe exclusives only. Make this an actual set that's going to sit on retail shelves for the troop builders. Because you want troop builders buying stuff in droves, and you're probably going to put the Iron Grenadiers out there. And if you did the 3-pack of them, if you did stuff like this, they would sell. We want vehicles. We love vehicles. Vehicles are fun. Do I want a Mobat? Yeah. Am I expecting one anytime soon? No. Same as Mauler? No. HasLab did his thing. But what's achievable? We have a promise note sitting here on the Wolverine because we have a cover girl. So why not a Wolverine and maybe a steel core driver? Same as the water moccasin with perhaps a Tiger Force variant planned down the line. But instead of having a third reprint of Copperhead, you throw in the Hydro Viper or another type of eel, right? A water Cobra troop builder with the water moccasin. Now, what about vehicles without riders? Absolutely, Hasbro should be doing this and selling these in droves at a lower price point. Here's some ideas. The Devilfish. We already know we have naval characters. We need some naval vehicles, and the Devilfish is small, and it has some play factor for at least 3 figures on there and some accessories and a lot of detailing. We also know that it was synonymous with Beachhead on the packaging, but which would make it great for a retro timed release with the Beachhead Retro, but also another Tiger Force vehicle. That opens it up to Hasbro to do repaints. The Fang is another one I would throw on to that vehicle no rider list, same as the Skyhawk, because we know that the Skyhawk has had other repaints as well. And these are small little things that bolster Joe's collections for the figures they are buying in droves because you opened up the goddamn retail market. Just saying. Multi-packs. This is where the exclusives I'm talking about, right? Don't limit yourself to just 3s. The 3s are nice price points where people don't mind parting with them, like 100 to 150 bucks for 3 good figs. Look at the His Fire Team. Look at Crimson Strike. Look at the Vipers. But go for 5. Go for 4s. That's a quick way to do the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders, don't you think? Selling them in bundles. Same, isn't that how they originally came out? Same as Cobra Law. Yeah, we're getting Nemesis Immortal, but we could get the Nemesis Enforcer variant in with the Cobra Law team in a 3-pack. That's exclusively just online only or limited to 2 main carriers, right? These are the limitations and constraints that I'd rather see rather than exclusively Jody Shooter Craig only available online, or Wolf Spotter only available online, or Tiger Force Outback only available at Toys R Us or Target or Amazon. You should be able to go to any of these stores that agreed with have a contract with that toy company to carry their product. They should have all that product. These bundle packs are where the things should get exclusive because it's, Tiger Force, we see that there's a lot of potential in Tiger Force variants. So when we see a vehicle that's coming out, we can immediately tie it to almost a double down factor on the fact that it's probably going to come out because it's versatile. We know this because we have a Vamp coming. We already know that a Stinger is already in the works for Cobra, that the Dreadnoks have a variant that they're probably going to release. So why not do the Tiger Force one as well? You have everything you need. Snowcat's on its way. We know that that's going to be a Hasbro retail shelf product, probably on the higher price point than even the Vamp. But then you've got a Tiger Force variant. HasLab Dragonfly Tiger Force variant. I don't see that coming to us on retail shelves, but maybe a HasLab selection for direct. Same as the Rattler. We'll talk about that later. The Cobra Ferret was on a Tiger Force. The Water Moccasin was on a Tiger Force. And the Devilfish. All Tiger Force vehicles, guys. Yeah, this is letting you know I'm almost there. I'm almost done. Not quite, though. What I'm trying to say is, with that, you can project a want for the Water Moccasin by Hasbro. You can see that there's a want to do all of these vehicles because you can mass produce them, but there's a want for collectors to have these hit achievable price points too. So a vehicle without a driver and being able to do that, those lower price points, almost equivalent to what a figure costs, can lead to accessory sets and other things that I've talked about on this show. So HasLab. All right, I'm going to call out Viper Island. No, not calling them out. I'm going to let you guys know Viper Island made some HasLab prediction, and I'm going to talk about their prediction, and then I'm just going to, for the sense of doing it, bet against them. HasLab. Okay, the Ghost. That is the one thing out of them that I want so bad. More than a Joe product. I want this Ghost. I loved that show Rebels, and I loved the Ghost. I used to play Star Wars X-Wing. I had the Ghost. It was one of my favorite ships, and the Phantom detachable and all of that. I just want to mount that baby on the wall or put a diorama around it. What a glorious looking ship. But getting to the topic, when it comes to HasLab, we have a beautiful history. You notice on this Dragonfly picture, it's not Glenda sitting in that gunnery seat. It's a Steel Core Trooper, right? This is what I'm saying with the Wolverine and CoverGirl. Just put a Steel Core Trooper in there. Different helmet design. Maybe different paint job. Maybe it's a different recast. Whatever. Give us another troop builder. Okay? You're telling me 2 Wolverines wouldn't look cool? I think so. Yeah. The His tank. Okay. We've done tanks, so I'm not going to say a fighting vehicle per se is the way we want to go for the future, but before I give you what Viper Island talked about and what I'm going to predict HasLab, just for fun, let's talk about this 200 contest, okay? How you're going to enter, guys. 200 contest, what you're going to do is in the comments, we're just going to do this randomly, okay? I'm going to give away this figure. It's just going to be open to US and Canada residents right now, guys, until I can figure out international shipping and what my budget really is. This is my first giveaway, and I want to keep it local so I can see it arrive on time. I just mailed something to the States, 2 things to the States, so I have an idea how long it takes. I want to just feel this out, and then if I know that it's not that hard to do it internationally, I'll do it internationally in another contest, or I will. I don't know. I just don't want subscribers to feel excluded. But what we're going to do for this contest is you're going to have to know something about the Crow, and you're going to have to guess something about his life. No, it's a guessing game. It really is just a guessing game. I'm randomizing your chances, but here, so. Good troop builder figure to go. How are you going to get there? Well, let's get there, guys. If you've watched some videos, you guys will know that I am part of a service couple. I'm not just an ex-soldier. My wife is also military as well, and she's also Canadian Armed Forces Military Army, right? She was a different trade than I am. I am armored. I am, the ground forces. My whole thing was reconnaissance. All right, and those are my medals over there. Okay, you've seen them in other videos, just in the background probably, and they've always kind of been there. But I got 4 of them. Okay, I have 4 service medals. Right, it's relevant. So how are you gonna do it? Okay, how you're gonna win is winning feels good. I like winning. How am I gonna win? You are going to take a guess, and then you're going to win. And what that guess is going to be is, does my wife have less medals than me, the same medals as me, or more medals than me? Any possibility is imaginable. I have never spoken about my wife or what she has done, really, besides, I think, maybe one video I might have alluded to it, but I don't even remember which one it is. How would you? I have almost 150 videos close to. Nah, go ahead, try and find it. Nonetheless, we do not have the same amount of medals. Our careers have been very different, but both of us have been awarded by our chains of commands a minimum of one. So, with that, you are going to guess, does she have less, the same, or more? All right, and then in there, you will just enter same, less, or more as your guess. Okay, this contest is open from now, and I gotta check the time. What time is it? It is 4:30. I'm going to round it up to 5 o'clock. I'm going to leave this contest open in the comments section of this video till 5 o'clock tomorrow, which will be January 18th, at which point I will close off the contest, and then shortly thereafter I will draw a winner and announce who that winner is. The other rules for this, besides just being on this continent, not having us being an ocean apart, and I apologize again for that, is that you have to be reachable, meaning you have to be able to be reached on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, or be able to reach me on Instagram or on email, and I am at Gmail, okay? You let me know in the comments, reach out, give me an address or a way to find you, and I will find you, and then you will win that figure. Number 97, where'd he go? Right here. Cobra Officer. It's a nice, beautiful troop builder. I do plan on getting another one of myself, and I will do more giveaways. And I think troop builders are a safe way to go for your first contest. Can't go wrong with a troop builder, can you? Even if it is Python Patrol, it's a very cool Python Patrol. And I'm not as against Python Patrol as I once was. All right. Any questions? No? No. You put your hand down. You've asked so many. Oh, you're annoying. Stop it. Okay, so we are going to move on with the HasLab part. Okay, so Viper Island, they recently went on record and said that they are predicting that the Cobra Rattler will be the next HasLab project. And it's easy to, one, have your camera just jolt out on you, and two, it's easy to agree with them. I'm not the most excited about the idea of that being the project. Not like I have any HasLab, I don't. Their price points are just not something I'm allowed to grab right now domestically to avoid disputes. But the Cobra, his tank, and the Cobra Dragonfly are glorious centerpieces. And yes, the Rattler would make a glorious centerpiece. And would it use more plastics in the end? Probably not. I think we're just talking about flatter pieces, a narrower frame than the his tank even. Yeah, it's workable, and it's very easy to believe that this very well could be, especially if you see the demand, be the next Rattler or next HasLab. Absolutely. But I got to bet against them, even though there's a Tiger Force variant that would make absolute sense using my own damn crow logic from earlier. Shit. I gotta put a bet against them. Just, it's not even a smart bet. It's just the crow wants to put a bet because there's a vibe. There's a vibe they're laying down with Joe, and I don't know if they're ready to do this one yet. All right. But yeah, there's that evidence. There it is up there, right? Yeah. And it would look damn cool. Picture that sitting on your shelf for your classified collection, eh? Oh, and there's somebody done a Crimson Guard variant of it. I just pulled these offline. I never own my crap. But what is a crow gonna bet? Well, I was back in the Snowcap, but now I find it that's probably going to be a direct retail release. That's great because I saw a lot of potential in it, and I had one. I remember me and my buddy Scott traded a ferret for the Snowcat one night. We just flat out traded, and all of a sudden I had the Snowcat when once I had a ferret. It was awesome. I felt like I won that deal. But here's my bet. Remember when I went back to Edmonton, I talked a little bit about the Canadian bridge layer. There's you go, the bridge layer, the toss and cross with Toll Booth, I believe was his name. The figure, I think that would be a glorious HasLab project because it would allow you to free up some different types of Joe ground troops that aren't tied necessarily to the vehicle, but could be, or could just be straight up good infantry, night force, or other things. That is a Norwegian Leopard 2 chassis one, so a newer bridge layer. But there's the old one, and then there's Toll Booth and his file card. And why am I pitching this one so hard, guys? Look at that thing in action, firing across, because they were critical to a battlefield to carry on the battle through a decimated region. Everything that we are seeing in the HasLab photo story is showing that the troops in the HasLab photo stories is that the Dragonfly and Hiss and all the other vehicles are going to be participating in this massive ground war. And it's going to eventually get to the air because the Dragonfly is up there. But, you know, there's other ways to deal with it. Showing something that's allowing the Joes to push an assault through a Cobra defensive, or to repair a bridge, or to have the Joes have a reason to put an all-around security element around something. That is the center point of a HasLab project, is for it to be the centerpiece of the collection and have an army surround this piece. Okay? That's hard to do with a Rattler and have it make sense. They're all repairing it. They're all servicing it. Is it rolling towards the enemy with its gun drawn? Or are they protecting it? If with a bridge layer, you have the ability to have a lot of centerpiece worth with this. All right, a lot of compatibility. But it's not as easy as just slapping a bridge down. You need service and support to make that bridge better, right? Yeah, you could probably expedite a light vehicle across it if the driver was being dead on accurate, the crew commander was doing their job. But I've only gone across these things assembled. And it takes an engineer team to finish putting the paneling in. And they like to guide them across, right? You would have a reason, a good diorama piece for your tripwire, for your vamp and clutch to cross, for Grunt and the Steel Corps Infantry to protect, or for Footloose and his variant of Steel Corps Infantry that I'm sure will come with him once he is made. And apparently he is on the books. There you go. All doing an all-around defensive on this immediate centerpiece of this important bridge being made. I think that is a really good go for it. And who are they defending it against? Of course, the Leprechauns, right? Because, you know, it's like Aaron the Toy Answer, and I know he's going to watch this video. We're very alike. We're alike in a lot of our history, where we view our families very similarly. We have a very similar past, very similar perspectives on a lot of things. And we both know that in a world where Joe can exist, a lot of other things can exist. Why not? It's a shelf. It's a collection. It's an imagination. It's yours. And whatever gratifies you, gratifies you. But I told you how Lowlight got those wishes. You need all-around defensive from all sorts of things, and that's including Bigfoot. Guys, that's it for the day. I've told you how to enter that contest, so start jamming up that comment section with your guess. Less, more, same. And you know what? Yeah, that'll be enough. What I'll do is I'll take the pile that goes less, or the pile that goes more, or the pile that goes same. And out of those, I'll draw the name out of the right pile. And that'll be the winner. I've explained that to you, so we're done. My time has ended. Your time in the comments starts now, guys. Thanks very much for letting this all happen and let me ramble on with this hot mic. And just understand, even wounded, leprechauns are a big threat. Be aware.